Oh man, Sony's playing chess, not checkers. Let's get into the video. Let's talk about it. Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Today I want to talk a little bit about just the fact that Sony and Microsoft focus on very different things in terms of like how like their business practices, I guess you can say. And I kind of specifically want to focus in on games in particular. Not necessarily some of the things that they do on the back end and stuff like that, right? But I guess I want to start the video off by saying Sony, obviously what they do is they focus heavily on efficiency. Microsoft, on the other hand, they focus a lot more on just trying to brute force their way in a lot of things. And they can do that. They can do that because they have the money to do it. And they the fact that they have such a lack of vision on what they want to do, but they have such deep pockets to do what they can in terms of just brute forcing their way. That's what they do. And they use this kind of philosophy with a lot of things, with a lot of the things that they've done recently. Things like Game Pass. They're trying to brute force Game Pass into people's lives. Game Pass wouldn't work unless someone like Microsoft, took over the reins for it. It just wouldn't work, man, because Sony and Nintendo can't support, at least not the way that Microsoft is doing it, a service like that. So obviously, obviously we know that Microsoft has been buying a lot of studios, and now they're buying publishers and stuff like that to try and brute force their way into people's homes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Whereas in Sony, on the other hand, right? They focus a lot more on efficiency, and it's not even just how they acquire their studios and do some of their other practices, right? They do it like with their actual studios, like when their studios actually work. I mean, when their studios actually like could develop their games, they're doing it in a way that's more efficient. You know what I'm saying? So Insomniac is a great example of this, because Insomniac has been able to create, what was it? They created like 4 or 5 games, man, since they've been acquired by Sony. But Insomniac is incredibly good at being efficient, and that's something that I believe Sony is trying to strive for in terms of their other studios. And you could see, because they're trying to expand the studios that they already have. A lot of their studios are working on multiple games now at this point. A lot of them are working on new IP and stuff like that, right? But even beyond just the studios themselves, right? It even falls into the category of like their acquisitions, right? So if you look at their acquisitions, not only obviously they bought Insomniac, which is an incredibly efficient studio, right? They even bought these other studios, like Nixxes, Valkyrie Entertainment are the two that come to mind. Nixxes is a port studio. And Sony has a stronger focus on PC porting and stuff like that. Valkyrie Entertainment, I'm not exactly sure what they do, but I know that they're a support studio that's going to be working with Sony and stuff like that. They have Sony's XDev, Manchester, and all of these other smaller like floater studios, right, that go around and help the major ones to create their games and be more efficient. The reason why I bring that up is because they bought these studios to sort of like bring development in-house, right? And that's like across the board. They want to bring development in-house to help their studios to be able to be more efficient, to make games faster, and to even help with what they're focusing on. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's PC ports. Normally that's something that they would have to push out to someone else to have a game ported over for them, right? Now they're bringing it in-house so they can be more efficient. do it more quickly, do it better than what they were able to do before. So, and I will say this too, it's not perfect yet, because some of their studios, some of their major studios in particular, like Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog is bad for this. They take a long time to make their games. They're getting better. They are getting better, but they do take a long time to make their games. Sucker Punch with Ghost of Tsushima took them like 6 years. 5 years, I'm sorry. Ben Studio took damn near 7 years, 6 or 7 years to create Days Gone. So that's a very long time. You know what I mean? But like I said, now that they're trying to, their focus is to bring development in-house, bring people in to support, to help work on these studios and stuff like that. As far as I know, right, like I believe it was Nixus. They helped with, I believe it was Shadowfall, for Guerrilla, and I believe they also helped with God of War, or maybe that was Valkyrie Entertainment, I'm not sure, but either way they helped develop the games, right? So it's very different. Microsoft and Sony kind of approached their practices very differently. Sony focuses very, very much heavily more on, being more efficient and quality as well. You know what I mean? They focus heavily on quality. They want their games to be incredibly polished, and the ones that aren't quite there are working their way towards that, like Ben Studio and stuff like that, right? So they have their opportunity to make their incredibly polished games and stuff. But that's really what they're focused on. Whereas in, like I said, Microsoft is a lot more like, let's just kind of throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And you can see that, like when they acquired freaking Ninja for Mixer. They did Mixer for a couple of years and it just didn't work. They shut it down. The Xbox Series X, not the Series X, I'm sorry, the Xbox One X. Phenomenal console in my opinion. One of their best consoles ever. Discontinued after 2 years. Why? Because they just didn't have it. Well, one, it wasn't selling, and two, it just didn't have the software to really showcase its power. And dude, before they were able to even get games out on that platform, the Series X came out. So guess what? They didn't need it. That's throwing shit at the wall. Game Pass is the same thing, man. Not like the console, but in terms of them brute forcing their way through things, Game Pass was thrusted into the market, you know what I'm saying? And they're buying all of these studios just everywhere. It doesn't matter. It's just they're buying everything. They're just buying. It doesn't have to matter. It doesn't have to fit within their culture of what they're doing. They're just buying it, just to see if it works. If it doesn't work, then they could just shut it down, And to be honest with you, I fully expect that, Now, some people, will argue that they're still trying to find their way and stuff like that. I say that they just have no vision for what they're trying to do, So what they do is they use what the biggest asset that they have, which is money. And with the money that they do have, they're buying whatever they can to try and, like I said, brute force their way into the gaming and buy their way through it and stuff like that, right? But yeah, those are just the differences, man. Sony focuses a lot more quality, efficiency. Microsoft focuses a lot more on just buying things and brute forcing their way through it. But very different. Personally, I prefer the quality, efficiency, and stuff like that. I want to see these studios grow, and I want to see them be able to be elevated to a point to where they can churn out multiple games at a time and stuff like that, and have them all be high quality stuff, for the most part. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I don't really have anything else to say about it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.